everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you're returning, you're still welcome, always welcome. You are obviously here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. So let's see, today is Sunday, it is February 5th. We are already into February, which means we have all kinds of stuff from January to go over and plans for February. I have no finishes. I will have some finishes for sure in February, but none from January. But I got lots of stitching in. I would say that this last January has been easily the most stitching I've done in a month in probably a year. So I'm excited to go over those numbers with you. There's a few things I'm trying to do differently this year, you know, with keeping track of stats and numbers. Carolyn from Seazook Stitch, you know, she is like the ultimate planner. So she's always inspiring me to do things. So the way that I'm trying to track it is a little bit closer to what she does, sort of. So we'll go over those stats, stitching stats, I guess. There's birds on the wall. They are actually up on the wall. So that is really exciting. This bird wall has been like 3 years in the making. It is finally here. I hate the word fruition. People use it at my work all the time, and I'm always like, that's such a big foo-foo word, but it has come to fruition. I use the word. There it is. So I have a larger bird piece that I am framing right now that you will see in the next video. It is almost ready, and it's gonna go right here, about that big, probably. That's what I'm thinking. So then I gotta figure out what to do with this empty space behind me, but a little bit at a time, right? Okay, we will jump right in. I don't have a great written plan, but I have piles of stuff next to me. So let's see what happens. So first, to go over from January, like I mentioned, January was the stitchiest month I have had in a while. So that is really thanks to the Cross Stitch 25/7 group that Melanie Watkins has created, kind of her brainchild. I love that group. The idea is just to do 25 minutes a night, even if your day is really busy and really crazy, which sometimes mine is, like everybody else's, and that's all I can get in, and that's okay. So, but I did do it. So just in doing 25 minutes a night, you will see how much progress I made on this piece. It's mind-blowing. So it really keeps your progress going. Because of that, this is my January cross stitch calendar, and it is all full of stuff. So for the whole month of January, I did a total of 1,715 minutes. Now that included the 25 minutes a day from 25/7, as well as there was a 24-hour of cross stitch weekend in there, which I did not come anywhere near 24 hours, but I did get a number of hours in. I think I got like 8 hours or 7.5 hours. So for me, that's a ton of stitchy time. So I was really happy with it. I do hope by the end of 2023 to actually hit that 24-hour mark, but maybe like in the fourth round, you know? Anyway, so that's about 29 hours of cross stitch for the entire month of January. Pretty happy with that. I was able to do 25 minutes every single day on my tree farm piece. So sometimes I would do it in the morning before work. Sometimes it was in the evening. I really like being able to stitch in the morning. It just doesn't always happen. But it's a great way to start your day, right? And it's a great way to say, no matter what happens today, at least I got a few stitches in. So I did like that. We had, on the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, we ran Baringo. I was able to complete 12 prompts. And somehow within those 12 prompts, I didn't have a single bingo, but that's okay. I had fun. I watched all of you guys get your bingos and your blackouts. Carolyn just drew the winners yesterday, so congratulations to them. Typically, Carolyn and we swap off, so she'll usually do Baringo and I usually do AB Singo. So yeah, it's just really fun to see everybody's progress and draw some great winners. So that was awesome. Okay, enough talking about the items. I will show you what I stitched and how it fit in. And then what I will probably do is, if the piece is going to come back out for the following month, then I will show that I will go over those plans at the same time. Yes, that will work. I'm going to do it. All right, first up. So I have this whole basket here. This is the basket right here. I love this thing. It's a perfect size for all of my pieces. I keep this basket in the living room with me. It sits right next to where I stitch. And at the beginning of the month, I take out everything that I'm not going to stitch and I fill it with all the pieces that I have planned to work on for the month. It keeps me motivated and I don't get sidetracked in trying to pull extra stuff. So, done that like 2 months in a row now and I really like it. So, all right, so first up, my 25/7 piece for the month of January, which I'm only doing 1 piece per month for that group. Even though I didn't finish this piece, it'll stay in my rotation, but I'm not gonna keep using it for 25/7. I'm trying to do pieces that I want to work on for my year of whips, just to kind of give me like a jump start and then see how far I get, and then hopefully I can complete it the next month or get somewhere close. So this is Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. I was working on block 1. I will eventually do all of the blocks. It will look something like this. Well, it should look pretty similar to this because I'm doing called for everything. Except for the white snowflakes in the sky. I am going to trade those out, but for now, let me have this. All right, so when I first started 25/7, I had only stitched, you can see right here, the black around those windows. So I did not have the windows done. I just had the little black outline. And I show that in the Facebook group. So if you're not part of that group, you should join it. I will link it below. So from stitching on it 25 minutes a day, every day of the month, I got to here. So that is a pretty good amount of progress. You know I'm not a huge fan of stitching houses, but I got the whole house stitched. I need to get, I'm going to use seed beads for the eyes, so I didn't do Santa's eyes, so he's just kind of a little bit of a blob. We got the bunny just about done, started in on the sign. These are the snowflakes I'm talking about. I don't mind this color white for the chimney smoke. I just kind of want the snowflakes in the sky to pop just a little bit more. I like the color for the snow down here. It's just the ones in the sky. So I got to there. I still have, there's this whole rest of the sign and a few like little trees scattered around here, but the bulk of this block is actually completed. So this is gonna stay out. It will be part of my plan for the month of February. I'm really pushing to finish this block in February. So as you can see here, this was the heavy stitching. There's more stuff over here, but it's not a house, right? I love to stitch trees. I'll stitch trees all day long. They're super fast for me. So February finish, let's just hope. I have this one slotted for in the magazine monthly challenge group, our acrostic this month. The theme is beach and the acrostic is wave. So this is slotted for the letter W. It'll be out more than that because it's a very short acrostic this month. You're welcome. So it's gonna stay out longer than that, but I'll be doing 2 hours on Jack's Tree Farm for the letter W because of winter. So W, winter, working on this guy. But I was just so impressed at how far, how much progress you can make at 25 minutes a day. Who knew? Okay, the other ones I worked on that are actually going to be put away for this month are over here, so let me grab those. I forgot these in my pile. So I worked on for Bringo. There was a couple prompts. Actually, I think I only did 2 prompts with this piece. It's a dimensions kit. I had it on my board a lot more. I just didn't get to it. But it will one day look like this. This one is not coming out in the month of February, but it will be back out in the month of March. This is Dimensions Gold Collection, A Treasured Time. I'm stitching this with Carolyn from Seasick Stitch, and I just think it is beautiful. It'll be done in like 2025, maybe. We'll see. All right, right now, it doesn't really look like much. In fact, I gotta find my stitches. There they are. We have done, when I take things off the Q-snap and then I fold them up for their little, their 1 month slumber, it's hard to get them back out, but you know what, actually, it goes this way. I am here. There is only 2 hours of work so far in this piece, but you gotta start somewhere, right? So watch for this one to come back out in March, and hopefully there will be some type of, you can see a house or a person or something. We'll see. All right, the other one that I worked on that will not be coming back out in the month of February was the Majestic Majestic Unicorn. One day this one will be done. I did get some good back stitching done on it, so that's good news, but it is not going to be out the month of February. So this is what I call the Majestic Unicorn. The actual name of this piece is, let's see, page 36. It's actually called Moonlight Magic. I like Majestic Unicorn better, but it is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Volume 7, 2015. It's the Christmas edition. This is a great magazine. If I could stitch 90% of the things in here, I would. So maybe one day. This got about almost 4 hours worth of work on it over this past month. So we are right here. I'll bring it a little closer here in just a moment, so I can show you what I actually worked on. So for these challenges, I didn't have hardly any of the handkerchief done. All of this area here, the area that comes down here I worked on, and then, let me pick this up a little bit more. Actually did quite a bit of, I did all the back stitching all the way down through here, the whole handkerchief area, finished up in the hair. So I just worked on some back stitching there. If I don't do the back stitching as I go, it just doesn't happen. It'll sit forever. So did that, took the border down just a little bit longer. Yeah, this piece, it is a slow moving piece, but it will be worth it when it's finished one day. So watch for that one to make its way back out. This one will be coming out quite a bit with all the Magazine Monthly Challenge prompts, because I've been trying to work on at least 2 magazine pieces for each prompt, just to kind of bring myself back into the magazine fold, if you will. So watch for that, just not this month. All right, other pieces that I worked on. Let's see here. I worked on the Adventure Sampler. It is by Sambry Stitches. Pull out this piece here. I love this bag right here. This bag I got from the 805 Stitcher. I just love all the acorns, and because I got this cross stitch piece up at the Pacific Northwest, whatever the name of that get together is from Acorns and Threads. I can never remember the name of it. I really need to write it down and put it in my notes. But anyway, I got it at that retreat, and so because of the acorns, I just think of Acorns and Threads, so I like to keep any piece that I'm working on that reminds me of that in this bag. So this is the Adventure Sampler by Sambry Stitches. Mine will look something like this. I am stitching it. It came as a kit, so it was a hand-dyed fabric, and it has silks from Bestitch Me, which are really fun to work with. So I'm stitching it with the called for everything, but mine does look different. Mine looks like this. This behind it. Go. So you can see this one is a lot darker, but I really like the way that things pop on it. So this piece got about 3 hours of work last month. I am actually aiming to finish this piece also in the month of February. So I have 2 pieces I really want to finish, potentially 3, but it's a small, and I don't have it started yet. I'll talk about that later. It's a very, very small piece, but I really want to finish this piece and that Jack's Tree Farm. So finishes for February. So I worked on, this border is a tricky little border. It really it snakes and zigzags, and you really have to be on your counting game. So that took me a little bit, but I did work on that border. I was missing this floss. I got this as a kit from Acorns and Threads, and when I got home, I realized it happens, right? They forgot one of the floss colors. So I could have at any time let them know that I was missing it, and I know they would have mailed it right out to me. but instead I wanted to wait because I knew that I was going to be doing an order in January, and so I don't want them to waste the shipping, and I was in no hurry. So I did make an order in January, which is what I'm going to show you, and they just threw that in with the rest of my items. So I got this floss, so I started in on the little icy lake we have here, and got some more work in trees and whatnot, but that is where we're at. So this piece is really, it's a quick stitch, it's a fun stitch. The only hard part for me so far has been the border, and not because I don't like it, just because it's a squiggly border, right? So you can't just count and go. It's got its own little design. So that part's gonna take me a minute, but the rest is fairly quick. So this is slotted to come out for the letter A on the acrostic of Wave. So A is for Adventure Sampler. It will get a minimum of 2 hours, but again, this is on my Finish It piece. It is also on my Year of Whips board, so I'm really gonna put some concentrated time into this piece this month. All right, the next one that I worked on, I will save that one till the end. Okay, next one I worked on is in this great bag. I got this bag from Shepherd's Bush. Anytime that I travel and I visit one of the LNSs, I like to buy a bag just because the bag styles are so different from each shop, right? I love my bags from Garan. I love bags in general, but this one was really different. I love the pattern, obviously birds. The color is my favorite peachy color, but there's no, it's legit a bag. Like it's not structured at all, so you can put whatever in there. So my whatever right now, try not to show this pattern, is, there you go, Monarch Horizons. This is a bird piece where I have this piece already done. I did not stitch it, but I do have it already done. I am trying to match it by stitching the hummingbirds. So to be honest, I'm not really a huge hummingbird fan. I'm going to stitch this because it looks beautiful with this, and it's a piece in memory of somebody else. So I'm gonna do it, but I would have much rather have stitched this side. So if I just keep it out and I work on it a little bit at a time, you know, a bird or two a month, it'll be wrapped up and it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. So I worked on this. This was used for, I think, 2 different prompts that I actually got to anyway on the Baringo board. I have it on the tiniest Q snap. I did buy another 11 by 11 because this one's way too small, obviously, but it's what I had. So we are here. Don't mind the floss, but I was mid-stitch. So I stitched this entire hummingbird through that Baringo. It's clearly not done, but this weirded me out. I had to actually check the pattern because I couldn't figure out why his beak was so blue. I thought I was using the wrong color, but that's really what it looks like on here too. So anyway, this is the blue beak hummingbird. Started here. This is another one I backstitch as I go. If I don't, it's not gonna happen. So I will finish this hummingbird and then I will backstitch them before I move on to the next piece. So got to there. This one is going to stay out. You will see it again this month. I am using it for the letter V like Victor in Wave. I'm so used to saying V like Victor because I used to have one in my last name. So anyway, for the letter V, and I'm doing it because there is a lot of the color violet in the next hummingbird. So V for violet. That there. I'm excited to see this one grow. All of these I call, you know, like kind of older patterns, right, where they have all the back stitch and they're just classic. It's fun to see them really come to life by doing just a little bit at a time and fully finishing that area. You really get to see it literally come to life as you're stitching. Okay, I've got 2 more that I worked on. I said I had a very busy 2-3 weeks. All kinds of pieces. This one is almost a finish. I thought it was going to be a finish. Part of why I made a purchase because I was thinking I was going to finish this piece and I didn't, so I have to finish it this month, but it's right there. So I used this piece for Bringo last month. It had two blocks that I got to. It is from the Cozy Animals on Cross Stitch Crazy, issue number 22. Looks like this. And here is where I got to. He is here. I forgot his foot. So once I finish his foot, or I'll just make him a one-footed penguin, I don't know, but then he will be done. So I'll have the penguin done. You can't see him because he's hiding. The polar bear is also complete. And I will eventually do, I think there's 4 different cozy critters. They're all going to be done on the same piece of fabric, but I'm going to cut them out and do some small finishes with them. But when I finish his little foot, he will be a finish. So he is going to stay out. I was going to use him as a letter, but when I realized I just needed a foot, I was going to use him for the E because he'll be eventually finished, but I'm going to substitute him out. So still, you will see him very soon as a finish this month. All right, last but not least, this is one that I actually started this month in the month of February. I'm going to be using this piece for my 25/7 piece. So every single night or every day, I'm going to put in 25 minutes on this piece. If I don't finish it, I probably won't, but it's going to be close. If I don't finish it, then I'm going to keep it out in March because I really want to finish this piece. So, all right, without further ado, I just realized I've gone this whole entire video showing you these pieces without even saying what fabric I'm working on. Oh well, okay. So this is New Year in the Village by Alessandra Adelaide. I call it Whoville. I started this piece 3-ish years ago, 4 years ago maybe. I started this piece on New Year's, the year that I started my first Flosstube channel, which was Thimble and Twine Stitches. So I had that channel for a while. I stopped filming for a long time, and then I wasn't feeling that channel, so I started Bird's Eye Stitches instead. But this piece has been lingering around that entire time, and it was really like my first new start piece, because when I started that last YouTube channel, I had just started stitching again. I learned a long time ago, but I took a mini-year hiatus, like serious hiatus anyway, and then this was the first real pattern that I picked up to start right when I started that channel. So I'm excited to see this one be completed. This one I keep for right now in my Garan bag. It's the classic Peter Pan. I love that movie. My daughter used to love that movie. There was a time when she was little where we used to watch that movie every single day for like 3 months straight. Every day. Okay, so it's on a Q-snap, so you can't see the whole other side. I have the first page completely finished with the exception of the fireworks because I'm going to be using DMC's, I'm not going to use Krynic, I'm going to use whatever it's called by DMC. I have it in the bag, I'll show it when I get to it, but looks like this. So I started, when I first pulled this out, none of this was done. So I got through this and some of the green, all of the white. So we are only on the, well, today is the 5th, but I have not done my 25 minutes today. So we've only done 4 days worth of 25/7 stitching. We are here. The nice thing is there's a lot of blocks of color in this piece. So, for example, this green is going to carry all the way up and around and up and in here. So 25 minutes at a time, I should get hopefully a fair amount done. But here we go. This piece is on, it's a piece of fabric. It's called Storm. I believe it's a Fabrics by Stephanie. I love this fabric. It's an opalescent, which I think you need because it's New Year's. And it is a joy to work on. Even though it's an opal, just all of her fabrics are amazing. I don't see them for sale as often anymore. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, but anytime I see fabric by her, I always do a second look to see if I don't have anything of that color in my stash, I'll almost always pick it up because it's such a high quality and I just love working on it. Okay, this is empty. So that wraps up all of the stitching that I did over this last month. I have some really fun haul to show you, but in case you don't care about haul or life updates, I also want to go over giveaways, giveaway winners. Yeah, just the giveaway winners. I don't have a new giveaway because I don't want to get too far behind in the mailing stuff out. So pull those out. Okay. So not last video, but the video before, I was giving away this chart here. It is the Vickery collection, Koi Koi Koi. The word was koi. The winner on that one was Heather Gingold or Gingold. Heather, I have not heard from you yet, so you have until I do the next video. But if you still want this chart, I just need your address. So you can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Instagram at Bird's Eye Stitches. You can also email me bird'seyestitches@gmail.com, and all of that is linked below. So if I don't hear from Heather, then I will just choose a new winner from that previous video, and we'll get this out pretty soon. All right, last week I was giving away this one. This is the Stony Creek collection. They are adorable teddy bears. It is Teddies of the Year. It's like teddy bears of every holiday. They're amazing. And the winner of this one was Stitches of Sass. So Stitches of Sass, you were drawn on this one, and I cannot wait to see you bring these guys to life. So if you will email me or send me a message in Facebook or Instagram, I will warn you, I'm trying to be better about Instagram. At some point in this year, I'm going to make it like Instagram month, and I'm going to do the Instagram, do the gram. But if you send me a message on there, just know I don't check it every day. I just make a concentrated effort to look at it like on the weekends. So yeah, send me a message. Here we go. All right, I don't have any giveaways for this week because, like I said, I don't want to get behind. So we'll have some at the next video. All right, haul. Haul, I got some fun stuff. So as I did mention, I made an order from Acorns and Threads. I have, in fact it's right in front of me, I did purchase one of these, the 2023 Acorns and Thread coupon book, and for the month of January it was 20% off your whole order. So I have a stitch along coming up and I needed to kit up the piece, so that's what I used my coupon on. I purchased all the stuff for that piece that I'm going to be working on, and I got my missing floss, which obviously there's no charge for that. And I love the bags. They're bags by Crafty Corey Stitches. She does them specifically for Acorns and Threads, and they're very unique. Like, she does a different zipper pull for each one. They're bright, they're fun. They all just look so different. So it's like my own bag of the month club. Every time I make an order from Acorns, as long as it's not more than once a month, I ask them to surprise me with one of Corey's bags. So that's what we did. I'm gonna open it. All right, the piece that I needed to have kitted up, I already own this chart. This is the Camberley Sampler by Rosewood Manor, because I'm officially a sampler stitcher now. It's official. I have a giant sampler book, and I'm stitching even with silks on a couple of them. And I actually put stitches in, so sampler stitcher, who knew? All right, so I will be stitching this one. I'm gonna start this one on February 14th for Valentine's Day. I'll be stitching this along with Tina from Tina Stitches and Carolyn from Seasook Stitch, and anybody else who wants to stitch on this. I really wanted to do some color converting because I just wasn't sure about the reds, but then I thought it was for Valentine's Day. And I have some other pieces I'm starting that I'm doing color conversions on, so let's not overthink this, right? I got called for everything. So I put the order in with Acorns. They sent, it's just the called for DMC. I love that it's being stitched in DMC. And although I may have already owned this, so many of my DMC pieces are already kitted up with other charts that I had a coupon, I just grabbed these. They sent me a piece of Belfast linen. It's a 32 count. It is in the color cream, which is called for. It is beautiful. The lighting is pretty good. You can tell behind me is a bright white. This is clearly a cream. Oh, duh, there's a card right here. White, cream, so that will be pretty. And then the bag that they surprised me with. I say surprise, I do pay for them, but this is the background, the back of the bag. It is really bright, it is really fun, it is just beautiful. I mean, if you can't look at this and just like, if it doesn't make you smile, I don't know what will. It's beautiful. Then the front looks like this. There's a nice bright green in the background. I like that it's clear on the front so I can see what's in there. And then, like I said, all of her zippers, hope that wasn't too loud. All of her zipper pulls are unique. So this one is a beautiful mix of bright green. It's got some sparkly little white ones. It's got a pretty angel right here. So it is beautiful. So this is gonna hold my Camberley sampler. And again, I'm gonna start on this on Valentine's Day, February 14th with Tina and Carolyn and anybody else who wants to stitch on that piece. All right, the next thing I got, not exciting. It's a Q-snap, but I needed one, so. This is not really cross stitch related, but I want to somehow put it in this room. I found a mug and I just thought it was so pretty. I love these birds so much. I just need to incorporate it in this room somehow. It's funny, I'm not really a blue fan, but this year I've been more gravitating towards blues. So maybe I am a blue fan. I don't know. But very pretty. Alright. Then I did an order. Where did I get this from? Let's see. Oh, from Lindy Stitches. This is what I ordered thinking that I was done with my penguin who's missing a foot. So I did a Lindy Stitches order and I haven't been on her site in a while, so I got a few charts all at one time. Then they're all hiding in this bag. It's my Acorns and Threads bag, aka my haul bag. But I can't reach it when it's all the way down on the ground. So all right, I ordered a piece of fabric. It's Fiber on the Whim, a 32 count brown sugar. It's a linen. I'm gonna take this out of the bag so we can see it just a little bit better. That's much better. Looks like this. I'm trying to pick up some more neutrals. I don't actually own, I own a lot of gray tinted neutrals, but I don't own a lot of brown neutrals. And I have a few pieces coming up that I have them kitted, but I didn't have fabric that was really warm enough. So I've been trying to pick those up. So this one was really pretty, so I grabbed that. Then I picked up, this is not by Lindy Stitches, this is actually by Kathy Barrick. It is Brown Fish Owl. I've had this one in my wish list cart for forever, and I just decided to pick it up. I just love him. Right, the reason that I went on her site to begin with was for this one. It is Marvelous World. I mean, look at this. Look at this bird. This is amazing. I love this piece. Look at this bird. And just, all of them are great. The saying on it is, "And I think after all, what a marvelous world." And I agree with that. It is a marvelous world. I love the colors as always, and the birds are so fun. Then, since I was on her site, she usually sends a little freebie piece. So we got this guy, Love and Prickles. And this is, oh, and it looks like I got this one too, Before the Ball. Little cute little mouse. All right, the last thing that I ordered, and this is really fun, I got it from an Etsy site. I was scrolling through Etsy. This thing just kind of popped up in my feed as something I might like, and they were not lying. It's a needle minder. I haven't purchased a needle minder in the longest time. So this is from Spin Round the Carousel. I'm gonna hide the needle minder. Looks like this. And she sent me a card as a thank you. Looks like this. In it, she wrote, I'm gonna read it, see if you guys can guess what movie this is from before I show you the needle minder. So it says, Robin, you rock. Thank you. Thanks for picking my little shop. Don't be such a wet blanket. Be safe out there. So the quote part is, don't be such a wet blanket. Made my whole day because look at him. Look, that is from the Brave Little Toaster. So the wet blanket is a quote from the Brave Little Toaster movie. I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid. It was one of the movies, we didn't have very many, but this one we actually had, it was like recorded from HBO, or someone made a recording of it on VHS. And I used to just watch this constantly. So it's so classic looking. I just love it so much. So this I'm going to actually put on my 25/7 piece so I can look at him all the time. And it was just super fun. I don't think I've ever seen Brave Little Toaster merchandise. Major throwback. So I'll be making more orders from her shop in the future because I just loved her thank you card so much. And again, I don't really buy needle minders often because I have plenty, but sometimes they just call to you, you know? But loved it. All right, that is all I have for you guys. We are 36 minutes in, so I will probably be back next week. A little bit of life updates. I've got a funny story, so we'll share that with you if you're still here. My boyfriend has moved in, so we are calling it our trial run, but he has, trial run, but he's moved in, so that has been really great. But in the moving in, he's very supportive of all the cross stitch and all the hobby, but he's really seeing me like taking time to like prep my cross stitch and pull out fabric and chart new things, and not chart, but color convert and all that stuff. So we're sitting in the living room and I'm talking about the fact that I'm starting the Camberley sampler on the 14th. And so I was pulling that stuff out, and then I had purchased, I'll talk more in depth about this later, but I had purchased it's like a magazine. It was a download of all these old magazines that are no longer in print. And you got like every magazine they've ever made. So I found an ad for it. It was like $30. And I was thinking, I hope this is not a scam. And it wasn't. So I got all these downloaded copies, and I'm trying to stitch one piece from each old magazine. Something small. So anyway, I was trying to figure out, fabric and colors for this piece. And my boyfriend looks at me and he was like, okay, I really have to ask. He goes, in regular life, you run all these projects, you do all these things, and you're very organized and you finish everything, and that's just who you are. You start and you finish everything and you just get things done. He says, but I don't understand with this cross stitch. He says, there's like 50 things and none of them are done. They're all halfway done and you're starting more of them. He's just like, I'm so perplexed. So it made me laugh a lot because all of you all who are stitchers, and some of you guys can just start a project and finish a project, but I cannot. So my whip pile is like in the 30 range. That's not that many. In fact, I have so many things that I have purchased that I want to stitch, and to be honest, starting the project is my least favorite part. So as weird as it sounds, what prevents me from finishing a project, besides just not stitching, right? But the thing that prevents me the most is starting. Like, putting the first stitch in is like starting a new book, right? When you get your first stitch in, it's like you're committing to this whole thing and it's daunting. So if I can just start the piece, get a few stitches in, and then have it sitting in my basket, ready to be worked on, put into a rotation, I know it'll get done. So I have so many great patterns that I'm like, why wouldn't I start all of these things? Mind-boggling. But it's just really funny to hear perspectives from people who are not stitchers, right? Like, Anyone who's not a stitcher would not understand the craziness of the pile, but you guys do. So, all right, beyond that, kids normal, we're normal, regular day. The sun is back out, hallelujah. I live in Arizona. It has been cold. Now it is warm, so I'm actually gonna go and do a little bit of yard work today. So I'm gonna work on that, and I will see you guys, I think next week, actually. So talk to you then. Happy stitching. See you then.